Will Islam Makhachev pick up another UFC belt, or will Jack Della Maddalena get the upset? See who fighters are picking in the latest edition of MMA Pros Pick.
Yeah, it's so hard because you never know when people are changing weight classes. But in lightweight, Islam looks like unbeatable. It's just like maybe the pound for pound best. It's just so insanely good. But can he do it in a weight class above? I'm not sure. Really, really hard to predict a fight like that. I think I still have to say Islam.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think so. We need to see a few more fights with Jack. He looked amazing against Bilal, but yeah, I don't know, man. It's something about Islam is just so good.
I like it. I think that's a great fight. I feel like if Jack can keep building upon what he did in his, in against Bilal, I mean, he's seen that style now from a champion, and it's very similar to what Islam's going to do. I think Islam does it a little bit better. So as long as Jack is improving and getting better and his confidence is there, it's very interesting. I feel like on the feet, I think Jack's got him on the feet. It's just that obviously if that takedown defense can hold up, that's the thing with Islam. Obviously everybody is like, it's one of those things where you can't bet against Islam at this point in time until you see a chink in the armor. It's like betting against Marab. You can do it. It's not a smart bet, but until someone figures out that puzzle, I don't know. Islam is a different kind of cat on the ground, and his striking is not bad. He's going to come at you and get you to strike and eventually, take a shot. There are some holes in his game and holes in the entries and obviously, being Team Khabib, there are definitely some things that you can expose to get that win. And if Jack figures that out, I think it'd be the long night for Islam. But again, I wouldn't bet against Islam until I see somebody kind of break that code.
I'm gonna go with JDM on that one. I think he's really hard to hold down. Bilal got him down a few times, but he was able to get back up. And then JDM just has great striking. I think he's better than Islam in the striking department. So if he can keep it standing and just kind of make it similar to how he fought Bilal, I think he can get a win over Islam.
I think Jack Della in that one.
I like Jack. Let's go for Jackie boy.
Islam going up, right? So when you go up, I think I'll give it to, what's his name, Jack? Yeah.
Islam.
I think Jack Della Maddalena.
Jack looked real good, but I think Islam is the best, man. I think Islam is the absolute best. I do think, obviously, moving up a big difference in weight class will have some effect, but I think that he'll be the champion that we know him to be, and he'll find a way to get it done.
Yeah, Makhachev. It's his time right now, Makhachev.
Islam for sure. Jack's fight with Bilal was amazing. It was an amazing fight. And we saw that Bilal didn't use his wrestling that much. But Islam will. And you can't just say that he's going to use the wrestling and that's just going to be the end-all, be-all. Islam has good striking as well. In addition to that, his ability to stick to the game plan and adapt in the heat of the moment. Championship material right there. Championship IQ, championship focus. He's going to come in there and he's going to win. I feel it, I know it, and I trust it.
Pretty confident stylistically with that Jack Della fight to they kind of gone out of their way to chase that fight down. So they obviously see something. I feel like it'll be close, but yeah, that's a big step up. Jack Della's a pretty big boy.
Yes. Do you think Islam can get past him?
He's obviously got I feel like he's got a chance, but I feel like that fight leans towards Jack Della.
I mean, I think he could. He can. He can win this fight. Right. It's not a for sure thing. It's not one of those like on paper, oh, he's going to just beat him. No. He can win it. It all depends on who shows up and who sticks to their game plan.
Okay, but if you had to give a lean, if you had to pick someone, who would you pick?
I'm going to go for JDM.
Okay.
People think his chin's going to be much better. He's not drained. Like,
I think he's gonna be stronger once he hits the ground. I think it's gonna be a closer fight than people think, but I can see Islam definitely winning 3 rounds to 2 and becoming a double champ.
Oh, you know what it is? I'm gonna go with Jack. I think the size might be a bit of an issue. I know Makhachev's obviously a big guy, very big for lightweight as well, but I feel like it's a big jump to 55 to 70.
I want to say Islam, and the reason why I say Islam is because I feel like Bilal, he went out there when he fought Jack, and he went out there trying to prove the fans that he can strike, which I think that kind of hurt him. I feel like if Bilal went out there and did what he did to what's his name, Leon Edwards, I think he probably would have had a better chance of getting the win. But it seemed like he just wanted to show people that he had with Canelo hands, which sometimes you don't need to prove. You don't need to prove anybody anything. You're the champion. You don't have to prove anything to somebody who's trying to take your spot. You just got to go out there and fight your game. If they stop it, then we move on to something different. But I think Islam is that type of guy where he's not going to be scared to take you down or shoot repetitively, almost in that Khabib-esque type of feel. But I guess we'll see. You know what they say, styles make fights.
I'm gonna go Islam. I really like Jack. I think he's like a superb fighter, especially with his boxing and whatnot. He could catch Islam, but he's clearly a much better wrestler than Bilal, and will actively seek the takedowns instead of just trying to stand and bang with them. So I think that Islam will get him.
Islam is super dominant at 55, but I mean, 170, that's like over a 30-pound difference, and so I could see Jack using his weight, and also, I mean, he's got Craig. If he has Craig Jones in his corner, and you see what happened when both fought Islam and had Craig in his corner, I could really see Craig Jones breaking down the kind of that Dagestani wrestling and pulling Jack out with a win.
Islam.
So this is a fun one that you're asking me. Is my coaches and I and the guys I'm down here with, we had a little bit of an argument about this one. I actually had taken JDM in that fight just due to the fact that, for one, I think a lot of people aren't thinking enough about the fact that Islam's moving up on this weight in really short notice. Because as far as I know, Islam was waiting for the result of the Bilal and JDM fight, and that fight was like 2 months ago, or 3 months ago, or something like that. So it's like it's not like he's had a bunch of time to move up to welterweight. There's no way he's put on any real muscle. Like, he might have put on like 2 pounds of muscle in the amount that he hasn't had any time to do so. So I think there's going to be a size difference. And then if you think that Islam's winning, my question is like, do you think he's going to beat JDM on the feet? Because I don't see that happening. And then I don't understand why people because I feel like they're going to put Islam as the favorite, but it's like, dude, you mean to tell me Islam's that much better of a grappler than Bilal? You know what I mean? The 170-pound champion of the world who defeated literally everybody other than JDM. So I definitely actually can see JDM winning that fight. And another reason I can see JDM winning that fight is the last Australian that had training from Craig Jones, the Islam fight, when he fought Volkanovski. Volkanovski won on a full camp. It was a real close fight, and JDM's just a different animal, bigger, longer, stronger. So I actually think JDM's going to win that fight. I think he's going to be able to stuff the takedowns and land the shots on the feet, and I think he's actually going to claim that victory. And then I think that means that we're going to get Islam going back down to fight Topuria, which is what, at the end of the day, that's what we all want to see.
Yeah, I believe Islam Makhachev.
I don't know. We will see, because I've heard Islam's strong as shit. Like, especially like when he's fighting 155, people like always talk about how strong he is for the weight class. So we'll see how that translates to 170.
Yeah.
I hope Jack's been working his takedown defense and in the weight room. You know what I mean? Don't embarrass us, dog. Don't let this 155er come up and take the belt, bro.
Who do you give the edge to in that fight?
Man, that's so hard. But I'm gonna give the edge to Jack, man. He needs to keep the belt at 170.
I don't know. I haven't seen enough of JDM. I haven't seen enough of his fights. I've seen his last 2, but I haven't seen enough. I'm still going to lean towards Islam just because I've seen him handle all issues, and he's had high levels of success in the past.
Yeah. Islam is, he's down at 55, but he's still he's probably one of the best, if not the best guy right now in the game, and so I'm gonna go with him.
Honestly, I really like JDM's counter grappling against Bilal. I'm gonna take him with the size advantage too.
Let's go Islam. I think Islam he's hungry now, especially everything he did in the lightweight, and I think he's much better boxer too, and he's wrestling. Cannot lie, I have so many things he can do in this fight, and I probably I gotta go with Islam.
I think Jack.
That's an interesting one because I like Jack's boxing, dude, and the way he look against Bilal and that takedown defense, and he's a big dude. I just want to see how Islam's gonna do against him. But Islam is Dagestani and wrestling, man, is going to be different. So I can't really choose that one, but I think it's gonna be a good one.
Ooh. That's tough, man. Maddalena's real good, and I feel like the jump from 55 to 70 is a big jump, just with the weight discrepancy. I don't know. That's a tough one. That's a coin flip. I lean towards Maddalena on that one, but I could see Islam getting it done. But Maddalena's just got an ability to create weird scrambles, and Islam's got a real traditional wrestling style. And I think with Maddalena's grappling style, it's hard to prepare for. I think Maddalena's will get that one done.
Man, that's a tough one. I'll go Islam for that one.
I think Jack Della Maddalena, that might be sort of against sort of popular opinion. But he's got very crisp boxing. Obviously, Islam's got very good striking also. But I think he'll have what it takes to deal with that wrestling. And I've got to go with Jack.
Oh my God.
If Islam wants to stand up with Jack, I think it's a no for him. He's gonna get finished just because Jack has really good striking. If he decides that would be the smart way to do and wrestle him and grapple him, I see him getting Jack tired and then beating him up now on standing up. That would be the plan if I was Islam. But if it was a me for the take, I'm having Islam winning the fight.
Man, that's a good one. Just because I love his style, JDM.
Yeah, that's a crazy fight. That's a 50-50 fight in my book. I was really impressed with the JDM when he fought Bilal. I didn't think it would go that way. I thought for sure Bilal would be able to get him down, hold him down at least a little bit at the time. And JDM did fantastic. I liked how he was blocking and how he was mixing up the strikes to not get taken down. He's the bigger guy against Islam too. I don't know. I think he has a chance to beat Islam, man. As much as people, they love Islam, I love Islam too. I think he's gonna be one of the greatest of all time at lightweight. But he's going up a weight class here, and Volkanovski's smaller than JDM, and Volkanovski was able to survive the first time against Islam getting taken down, getting his back taken and stuff like that. And JDM's been working with Craig Jones. And a lot of it is about know-how and how to stay calm when somebody has your back and somebody is on top of you. And I feel like he's got the right team around him, JDM. So I think he's going to do a lot better than people give him credit.
I'm thinking Jack Della.
You can just say JDM. JDM, yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to go JDM because, it's just the upper weight class, crazy good jiu-jitsu. I mean, I understand Makhachev's a crazy good wrestler and crazy jiu-jitsu, but, I think once you're like comfortable at that weight, or once you're you're built for that weight, it's a lot harder to compete against someone that's just comfortable at that weight instead of going down to your weight class.
That's such a toss-up. Just because as good as Islam is, it's a new weight class, bigger guy, stronger guy, and he showed he could really defend takedowns. That's a tough one. I'll go with Jack just cause.
JDM.
Islam. I really like Jack. He's freaking awesome.
He really is. But you know, I think Islam is going to be able to enforce the wrestling in that fight. He's a humongous dude, and I think he's actually going to be better at 170 than he was at 55 because that dude was, you know, doing the same thing I was, cutting in massive amount of weight just to make it to the cage. You know, I think you're going to see, you know, the best version of him at 170.
I'm gonna go with Islam, man. I'm gonna go with Islam.
Islam was big for 155. So I don't think that'll be a thing. And then like just his skill, he's very skilled. So I don't think going up in the weight class will be much of a thing from him. Dude's good, but with fighting with bigger dudes, they're gonna. I mean, they've got their tools, they got their ways to hit people, and we're gonna see how he responds when he gets hit at that weight class. Because one thing you can count is JDM is gonna hit him. I mean, unless he just comes out and just gets on him right away and is able to stay on him and get him down and just ragdoll him from there. He's gonna get hit, so we're gonna have to figure out. We're gonna have to see what it's like. But he's got really good striking. Islam is a good striker.
Yeah,
I mean, Islam is a very complete fighter, so I'm excited to see it.
Well, I am too. But who do you give the edge to?
Like I said, I'd say Islam is the more skilled fighter. I'd say he's the more rounded fighter. You know what I mean? I'd say he's got more ways to win, so I'd have to give the edge to Islam because he's got more ways to win. But JDM is used to fighting at this weight class, so he does have the size and things. So they both have the things working for him. But
okay,
on skill, I always skills pay the bills.
Islam.
That's a tough one. You know, I think JDM's boxing is next level. I don't think Islam has faced anybody that has that sort of skill set. You know, and on the other side of the coin, Islam obviously has the best grappling in the world. So I think it's going to be a very close fight in terms of like stylistically, but I'm going to give JDM the advantage because the fight starts on the feet, you know, and that's where he's the most dangerous. And you got to think that he's preparing for everything. So the way that I look at it, fight starts on the feet. He's got the advantage there. So I'm excited to see what happens for sure.
I mean, that's one of those stylistic things, right? Like Islam's not going to change who he is, right? Like he's like he's going at some point. You're going to have to deal with his grappling. You know, whether or not JDM can still utilize, you know, his very good down blocking, you know, ability and kind of staying in that boxing position and kind of navigate those shots, keep things down the middle, keep his movement up and keep Islam guessing on when, you know, his shot and kind of hesitating on a shot. I think he's got a good chance. I just don't think over time, over a 5-round span, he will be able to keep up consistently over that time. So I got to go with Islam.
Oh my God, dude. Such a sick fight. Like, this fight gets me so geeked out. Like, I'm the biggest JDM fan. I love the guy, man. I love his head slot changes. I love the level changes. I love the technical side. I've seen that Bilal fight a ridiculous amount of times, just over and over. I think he's got the skill set to beat Islam Makhachev. I think he's got the heart, the mindset. Really big on Jack Della, but Islam's so good, and I'm curious to see what he looks like at welterweight. His frame, his size, his speed at welterweight. I think the main thing that I'm curious about is to see his speed. If he's just focusing on putting on size and putting on mass, like I don't think it matters that much. But his speed will be a big determinant factor, in my opinion. Such a tough fight. Islam is damn good, you know. But I'll lean Jack Della on that one, and I'm hoping to be there. You know, I'm planning on going out to New York just to visit, and hopefully get someone who will give me tickets for that event.
Cool. I think Jack. I think a lot of people are underestimating Jack's size and Jack's ability to wrestle and you know, cage wrestle. So I feel like Jack will get that one.
I think Jack's gonna get this done. Maybe a similar fight like he was with Belal Muhammad. So I think he's gonna win.
Yeah, cool fight. I think Islam really has to step up to beat a bigger guy with wrestling defense as robust as Jack Della's. So I would say this is obviously me thinking about the first Volk fight, which I think is a little bit artificial because I think Islam took that fight lightly, and then he will no longer ever do that. Ever since then, he's looked pretty unstoppable. But he fought Poirier, who's a skilled boxer with wrestling defense, and that was like a pretty tough fight. Like nobody really remembers that because he scored a finish in the end, but he got hit a good amount against Poirier. Jack Della, I think, has more power and more ability to wrestle just because he's bigger. So I think it's a very hard fight for Islam. I'm not gonna, disregard his ability to win, but super hard fight.
But who'd you give the edge to?
Jack Della, just based on size.
Oh, man, I feel like Jack Della Maddalena, he's shown that his takedown defense is phenomenal and that he doesn't get tired and that when he stands back up, he's going to throw hands. And Islam's a fantastic fighter and world class and world champion himself. I do think the weight disparity is going to play a big part in it. I think that he's going to be big. Or Jack Della Maddalena is going to be big and be able to defend a lot of the wrestling. And I think his boxing is underrated. Everyone's just now starting to jump on his boxing, but the way he switches stances and throws his rear hand as his lead hand, his lead hand as his rear hand, mixes it up well, adds the knees in there, steps offline. All those different things are small, little, minute things that he does very well. So I see Jack getting that done. I'll be leaning towards Jack.
Whew, that's a tough fight. Before, Jack did his thing against Bilal, I wasn't really too sure, about him, or I guess I didn't watch him enough to be sure about him. So, I was very, very impressed with his skills and what he was presenting, what he was doing, and how he was moving. I don't think Bilal grappled as heavy as Islam probably is, so I'm interested to see how that's going to go. Of 15 pounds, a little different than 10 pounds, and, the strength and the... I think it's going to be tough. I think JDM's going to hold him off eventually. I think if they get to the later rounds, 4 and 5, I think JDM's going to have the cardio to keep going.
Gotcha. So you're picking JDM then?
Yeah, I think so.
Hopefully, I think Islam gets that done.
Damn, dude, what a good fight. I feel like JDM's going to get it done just because I like the way he moves and like he's so stingy in the grappling. Like he fights for every inch of it. Like, he's not going to let Islam like bully him. You know what I mean? So I feel like it's going to be a fight that's mostly contested on the feet. But the thing is with Islam is like he's such a good striker too. And like people really don't give him the credit for it. I guess I'm edging towards JDM. Maybe just I feel like he's going to be able to keep the fight on the feet and in the center. And he's so good at just like picking shots and just like his boxing is so clean. But who knows? Islam's a GOAT.
I think Islam is going to win it.
For the sake of the welterweight division, I got to go with JDM. I just don't want this log jam going on in the top of the division. I know a lot of guys are anxiously waiting for the opportunity to fight for that title. I just don't see Islam a guy being a very active champion if he were to win that belt. So selfishly for the guys in welterweight, I'm hoping that JDM walks away with the victory in that fight. But JDM...
Yeah. Sorry, go ahead. I was going to say, you said you're hoping he wins, but do you think he wins?
But honestly, watching JDM go against a guy like Bilal in his last fight, he definitely showcased a lot of skills to not only fend off the takedowns, but also get back to feet in the event that he does get taken down. The other part that he brings to the table is that he has a lot of he has some pretty good crisp boxing, and I think that's something that Islam may struggle with in this fight. I mean, he's going to be a lot bigger he's going to go up a weight class going to this fight. And even though I don't think there's a significant difference between lightweights and welterweight, I mean, there's a ton of welterweights who compete at 185, 186 on fight night, and there's a ton of lightweights who go into the cage weighing in 180 to 185 as well. So I don't think the weight is going to be that big of a difference for Islam to have to worry about. But I think what's going to really make a difference in this fight is just the durability of his opponents not having to drop that much weight. Like Islam's used to being able to take guys down, control that kind of thing, but guys at welter are used to carrying that heavier load throughout training camp, and I think that's going to be a huge factor going into this fight that may give a slight advantage to JDM going into this fight.
So, all right, I know a lot of people are just completely thinking that Islam is just going to shut JDM completely out. And I have underestimated JDM in quite a few matchups, right? But it is a tough fight to call. I don't think it's that far off, right? On paper, you're looking at it, you're like, you know what? I think it's going to be a complete wipeout. I mean, but you never know, right? Islam in his last, 8 fights, he has all 8 finishes, right? So... I mean, man, it's just really tough to call right now. I am going to favor Islam in this matchup, but honest to God, I would not be surprised if JDM pulls it off. Because, I mean, he's training with Craig Jones, and these guys are extraordinary grapplers.
I'm gonna go Jack. I think Jack is big, too strong. You know, I've felt Jack too. Yeah, Jack is really strong, big guy. So I don't know if that if the Russian can't get him down, you know, or keep him down, he's in big trouble on the feet because his striking is not you know, he needs some work on the feet. I don't think it's as good as Jack's.
Yeah, it's honestly really hard to make a prediction on that fight because they're both very good, and it's the weight is different. You know, Islam coming up, it's hard to gauge. Islam is very strong. He's been dominating at 55, but it's different coming up, you know, to 170. It's weight classes for a reason. I think Jack will be bigger. His boxing is an issue, and he's very good at takedown defense. But Islam is different, you know. So I mean, I don't got no prediction. It's a great matchup. I think rightfully so Islam should be the favorite, but not by much. Not by much. But I think he should be favored.
Man. JDM.
I think Islam gets it done. I think he's one of the best in the world, and if not the best in the world, but definitely I think Islam gets it done.
Jack.